One day a dragon dragged a bear behind. A brave man came to help, for he was kind. The succor of this world is men like these, who heed the shrieks of victims and their pleas. The cries of victims everywhere they hear, and, like God's mercy, brave men will rush near. These props supporting this world's weaknesses, these healers who cure hidden sicknesses, are justice, mercy, and love that is pure. Like God, they can't be bribed or made impure. Ask one, why do you help immediately? He'll say, they're helpless and in agony. Lion-like men hunt chances to be kind. Pain is the medicine they wish to find. Wherever pain is, there the cure will go. Where hills slope down, the water's bound to flow. Since you need mercy's water, bend down too. Get drunk from mercy's wine, which flows to you. Mercy keeps filling up your head with grace. Don't sink for one delight to a low place. Courageous men, ascend now like a dove, and hear sweet Sama, music from above. Take out the plugs of evil whispering, so shouts from heaven in both ears will ring. Remove the hair which covers now your eye, to see the lofty cypresses on high. Cough up the phlegm that's blocking up your head, so God's wind fills your nostrils up instead. Don't let a trace of bile and fever stay, so you'll taste sweetness in this world today. Don't keep it limp, insert man's remedy, and make the woman climax rapturously. The fetters on your spirit's feet undo, so it can soar up as it used to do. The shackles on your hands and neck now break. New fortune then from heaven you can take. If you can't reach the Kaaba of His grace, your helplessness before the Lord to place, then your recourse is weeping bitterly. His mercy is the nurse and remedy. Nurses and mothers both anticipate the baby's cries. To comfort them they wait. God made your need like babies', so He'll hear when you should weep, then milk He'll make appear. Call upon God, God said, keep weeping, so the milk of His kind love will start to flow. If wind should howl and rain clouds start to pour, it is for our grief. Be patient a bit more. God said, find in the sky your daily bread. Why cling then to this lowly place instead? Like a ghoul's voice, your fear and desperation will lure you to the pit of degradation. The calls which beckon you beyond the sky have come down for your ears' sake from on high. But every call that beckons you to lust is howling from a wolf you shouldn't trust. Height here is not a physical dimension. The soul's and wisdom's peak is the intention. Causes are higher than effects, men say. Iron and stone than sparks they send away. Higher than vain sits the true fakir. Though next to them this great man might appear, nobility determines who comes first. The seat placed furthest from the top's the worst. Iron and stone in action's course are prior, and so it seems that these two should rank higher. That spark they send out, since it is their aim, must be superior to them all the same. Iron and stone may come before their goal, but they are the body, while the spark's the soul. In sequence even if the spark's posterior, in nature still it is that pear's superior. The branch precedes the fruit found on the tree. The fruit's worth so much more, though, obviously, because fruit is the branch's aim. It is true. Fruit is first, branch last, although the branch first grew. When that bear screamed for help, a lion heart released it, pulling those huge claws apart. He showed such cleverness and manliness to slay that dragon which had caused distress. The dragon has much strength but lacks a mind. Above yours too there is a superior kind. Your own intelligence, you see. Why then do you not see its source? Head there again. What now is low came from above. So turn your gaze to lofty heights, and you will learn that this gives light with which to truly see after a period of perplexity. Accustom now your eyes to those light rays. Unless you are a bat, fix there your gaze. Seeing conclusions proves you've gained that light. Feeding your lusts means that your grave's in sight. Great men see all potential traps ahead, but fools hear of just one and are misled. That single trap makes them stray even faster. Proudly, each one will even shun his master. Like Samari, who'd learnt one skill with pride from Moses and then vainly turned aside. From Moses, though he'd learnt his cherished skill, he closed his eyes to his greatest teacher still. Moses then used a new skill suddenly, which stunned and left for dead vile Samari. Book knowledge fills your head seductively. It beckons you and seeks authority. Don't lose your head, be like your own foot's sole, and then take refuge with the mystic pole. Though you be kings, don't look down with disdain. Though you be honey, seek his sugar cane. Your thought's a form, while his thought is the soul. Your gold's false, mine's belong to this great pole. Now seek yourself in him, you're really he. Fly to him, coo as doves do constantly. If you don't want to serve him now with care, you're in the dragon's jaws, just like a bear. Perhaps the teacher will deliver you and pull you from all harms as he can do. You have no strength, so weep in fits all day. You are blind, so from the guide don't turn away. Are you less than a bear? Cry when in pain. The bear which cried found pain would not remain. God, melt like wax this stony-hearted man. Make his cry sweet and worthy as you can. There once was a blind man who used to say, I'm blind in two ways, pity me and pray. Be twice as merciful and twice as kind. I'm stuck with this sad fate, I'm doubly blind. Someone said, one of them we all can see, but what's the other blindness meant to be? He said, my voice is ugly like the bray of donkeys, doubling blindness in this way. My ugly voice induces so much grief. It steals all listeners' love, just like a thief. Wherever it is heard, it will create much grief and rage, and it makes people hate. Double your mercy for two blindnesses. Make room for one who always trespasses. Through his complaint, his voice's ugly sound made people in compassion gather round. Because he'd owned up, he would soon rejoice. His heart's voice gave his tongue a lovely voice. But if his heart's voice had been bad as well, 3 blindnesses would have locked him in hell. Those saints who share God's grace unselfishly could then have touched him as a remedy. When this man's voice turned soft and sweet, it then could melt like wax the stony hearts of men. The infidel's cry is an ugly sound. It won't find sympathy from those around. Be silent has an ugly voice and mind, that of bloodthirsty dogs among mankind. The bear's wail draws compassion, different from your unpleasant and ignorant lament. With Joseph, like a wolf you have behaved. Innocent blood you drank, for you are depraved. Empty yourself of what you've drunk. Be sick, and seal the wounds at which you'd always pick. When from the danger that bear was set free by that kind man who showed much bravery, just like the dog of sleepers in the cave, it then became that man's most faithful slave. Its master rested, for he'd struggled hard, and so the bear served as his bodyguard. A passerby asked, "What has happened here? How come the bear treats you as someone dear?" The dragon story he began to share. The passerby said, "Never trust a bear. Friendship with fools is worse than enmity. It should be chased away immediately. You speak from jealousy, heavens above. Don't focus on its wildness, but its love. Love from a fool is false seduction, friend. My envy will prove better in the end. Join me, drive off this bear, leave it behind. Don't choose the bear, forsaking your own kind. Mind your own business, I loathe jealousy. This is my business, but you cannot see. Good man, I'm not less than a savage bear. Be my companion, leave that wild beast there. My heart now trembles with concern for you. Don't walk with such a bear, as fools would do. My heart's not stirred without a cause or aim. It is from God's light, not a specious claim. A true believer, I see by God's light. Flee this fire temple of your sorry plight." The things he said had no effect at all. Men's ears are blocked by their suspicion's wall. The good man took his hand, he pulled away. "You are no friend of mine. You've gone astray. So leave at once, don't show concern for me. Meddlesome fool, stop now your sophistry. I am not your foe," the passerby then said. "It would be best to come with me instead." He snapped back, "I am sleepy, let me be." The passerby said, "Friend, submit to me, to sleep in the protection of a sage, safe with a mystic from the wild bear's rage." He doubted still this passerby's intent, and turned away to show his discontent. Perhaps this liar wants to injure me. He is a thief or beggar, obviously. Perhaps he made a bet with friends that I would prove an easy man to terrify. Not one good thought came to his mind. Confusion ruled him because his mind had much pollution. All positive thoughts he saved for the bear. The two belonged together like a pair. Before a sage, a bear he chose to trust. This fool thought it affectionate and just. Moses stopped a deluded man to say, "You are cynical because you've gone astray. About my prophethood you had such doubt, though I had strong proof and am good throughout. Many miraculous feats you saw me do, but doubts and fancies just increased in you. The devil's whispering tricked you, so you would sneer skeptically about my prophethood. I forced apart the sea's waves perfectly, so that from Pharaoh's evil you'd be free. For years from heaven manna was bestowed, and through my prayers from stone fresh water flowed. These things and many more just as diverse did not reduce your false doubts. You are perverse. A golden calf once moved through sorcery, and you prayed, "You are my God," immediately. Bowing to it succeeded then to sweep your doubts away, your cold brain went to sleep. Why didn't you doubt all the lies it said? Before that object, why bow down your head? Why didn't you suspect its idle claim? To trap you with its magic is its aim. You dogs, who is that liar, Samari, to carve a god out for humanity? Why let his lies make you all of one mind, leaving all thought of problems far behind? Why worship a mere calf when it has lied, although my prophethood you all denied? You bow to it through sheer inanity. Your brain is Samari's prey tragically. From God's light you have turned your eyes away, because you are ignorant and far astray. Your brains be damned in what you choose to do. It is correct to kill vile fools like you. What did the golden calf say when it spoke? The love in your hearts, how did it provoke? Much greater miracles I have displayed, by worthless men, though God is not obeyed. Base men are smitten with stupidity, as futile men admire futility. Since each one is beguiled by its own kind, a bull and lion playing you won't find. For Joseph, can the wolf feel sympathy, unless through cunning as his enemy? If it leaves wolfishness, it is then a friend. A dog can be a human in the end. When Abu Bakr could identify the prophet, he said, "This face doesn't lie." Bujal did not feel empathy one bit. He turned away, although the moon was split. We hid the truth from mystics with love's pain, but hidden from them it did not remain. Those ignorant, who from love's pain are free, were often shown the signs but couldn't see. One must keep clean the mirror of one's heart, to tell the lovely and the vile apart. That passerby left after that attack. "God give me strength," he said, and then went back. I gave advice and argued how I tried, but vain thoughts in his heart just multiplied. Blocked is the way of counsel for this man, and so withdraw from them is my sole plan. When your cure makes the sick man's brain unsound, find a true seeker and read from he frowned. The blind man's come to seek God earnestly. Don't force him off due to his poverty. You are eager for the notables to turn to Islam, so the rest from them will learn. Muhammad, you have seen some chiefs tonight, and so you are happy with the thought they might become supporters of your new religion, for they rule Arab men and Abyssinian. To Basra and Tabuk, you hope such news will spread. Their king's faith subjects always choose. That's why you turned away from one who's blind, but rightly guided, this upsets your mind. This is a chance that's very rare, you said. You can return another day instead. So why now, while I'm busy, bother me? This counsel is not due to enmity. Muhammad, that blind man is worth much more to God than mighty emperors by the score. Remember, people are like mines. Take heed. One mine in worth 1,000 may exceed. One ruby or cornelian mine is worth much more than all the copper mines on earth. Muhammad, copper here gives us no gain. A breast is needed full of love and pain. Don't shut the door. A blind man full of light has come. Give him advice. it is his right. If a few fools reject you, persevere. Don't be made bitter, even if they jeer. If a few fools should charge you with a crime, God will serve as your witness in good time. I don't seek recognition now, he said. When God is one's witness, one feels no more dread. If a bat should gain something from a sun, that proves the sun's not an authentic one. The curses of such bats is evidence that I'm the bright sun with true radiance. To rose water, if beetles ever crawl, that proves it is not true rose water at all. If counterfeits for touchstones should cry out that they are proper touchstones, we must doubt. The burglar longs for nights and not for days. I am day, not night. I shine with such bright rays. I am discerning and act like a sieve. For chaff, room to pass, through me I won't give. The chaff from wheat I strive to separate, the differences between them to relate. I serve as God's own weighing scales this way. The light from heavy I make clear as day. Calves think that cows are gods, they fantasize. For donkeys this is fitting merchandise. I am not a cow that calves may call with moos, nor a rough thistle that a camel chews. My enemy thinks that he's wounded me. He's wiped dust from my mirror helpfully. Galen told his companions, "Bring for me such and such medicine and remedy." Master of all the sciences, one said, that is medicine to treat the mad instead. Far be such drugs from your superior brain. He said, I was stared at by one insane. He gazed at me with joy and wouldn't leave, then tried to flirt and fiddled with my sleeve. If there were no congeniality, how could that wretch then turn his face to me? He must have seen his own sort in his mind, to have approached and not a different kind. When a connection's made between a pair, there must at least be one thing that they share. Birds of a feather fly together, while fools dig their graves by sitting with the vile. A certain wise man said, once I could see a crow content in a stork's company. Amazed, I sought to find a telling clue about what was in common for these two. I was perplexed, but when near them I came, I noticed then that both these birds were lame. Would a great falcon, one of noble birth, keep company with owls of lowly earth? The former is a lofty sun, while that vile latter type is like a hell-bound bat. The former, free from flaws, reflects pure light. The latter begs because she's lost her sight. A moon that shines upon the Pleiades, next to a worm in dung beneath the trees. A Joseph who is Jesus-like as well, next to a wolf or ass that needs a bell. To placelessness while one has flown away, the other like a donkey longs for hay. A rose tells beetles with a mystic tongue, disgusting stench, you smell much worse than dung. You flee our rose bush proud of your rejection, but that is due to our rose bush's perfection. Since I am protective, I bang on your head. Wretched one, keep away from us, I've said. If you stay longer in my company, people might think that you belong with me. For nightingales, this lovely field is fit, but beetles all belong on piles of shit. Since God has spared me from contamination, why would he raise filth near my lofty station? The vain in me, like theirs, God cut away. Evil veined ones will not reach me today. The sign of man from pre-eternity is angels bowing when his rank they see, and Satan still not bowing down his head. I am the chief and king, he claimed instead. If Satan had bowed down too, then mankind would have been creatures of a different kind. Prostration for the angels was a trial. Man is witnessed also by that foe's denial. His proof is in the angels' recognition, and also in that petty cursed sedition. This discourse could go on, but let us return. The ending of this tale we want to learn. As the man slept, the bear pawed flies away, but they would whiz back there without delay. Repeatedly it pawed them from his face, but they kept whizzing back at rapid pace. The bear grew angry and went off alone, towards a hill to fetch a massive stone. When it returned, it saw a small fly leap onto the man's face while he stayed asleep. It raised the stone and slammed it heavily, hoping to force that pesky fly to flee. It crushed its sleeping master's head instead, proving the truth of what the wise have said. The fool's love is just like love from a bear. His hate is love, his love hate, so beware. The fool's word is so unreliable, believing him is not advisable. Never believe him, even if he screams. Liars break oaths, and none is what he seems. This one lies even when he doesn't swear, so don't fall for such oaths and lies, beware. His brain's the prisoner, his self the chief. He'll swear on the Quran to claim belief. Don't heed his promises, he doesn't care. If he should break them, he will easily swear. Sometimes his ego will become enraged, that with a serious oath you want it caged. If prisoners shackle their own ruler, he will break those shackles off immediately, then pound them on their skulls which lack a brain, and throw the oath at them with much disdain. Don't wait for him to honor oaths he swore. Don't tell him, keep your promise, any more. The one who places in the Lord his trust will cling to him and shun the realm of dust.